We're here on our third day of Kingsland shenanigans on my main account and restart account in the same kingdom. And I think we're on the doorstep of having this thing locked up. As you can see from the Kingsland map here, we've gained territory. We're in blue and purple. Okay, purple is us. Our allies are blue. And orange and red are who we're fighting against. We've got a very good position here. We're now into our uptime. They're into their downtime, which means I think our velocity is only going to pick up. And you will notice the map has changed a little bit from my last stream, which is that our allies held this upper corner and they have taken it back. So I don't think this is over, but I think it's pretty close. And I think our momentum at this point is undeniable. And feels good to be on our way to getting a win. Now, look, we still got to actually do the things and lock this up. So I don't want to say it's done, but I also didn't feel like a stream today was going to be particularly exciting. I mean, as cool as it is to maybe zero potentially off territory players, if we look around, we're burning at this touch point. We are burning and building at this touch point. We got the pass over here. We've been burning into this orange territory, and this is a linchpin flag that's on its way out, which means all this territory is about to get disconnected, unless they maybe can do shenanigans through this pass, which I doubt we would even allow. And now the fort's gone. Oh, wait, yo. Okay, that fort just disappeared. Maybe they're rebuilding somewhere. Oh, is this a territory reconnect going on? 33A with 33B. No, it's not a territory reconnect. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think this is looking pretty good for us. I'll say it like that. And people ask me all throughout, well, what did you think of 2934? Because they were posting on Facebook how many gold chests they were opening, and they renamed themselves to mock me, and they changed their profile pictures to mock me. And here we are. And all along, I said that we had a very clear strategy for how to win this KVK, and we were executing our strategy. And even if things didn't seem like they made sense, they did in the context of our strategy. I said I would share it after we were in a good spot. And I think we're in that good spot now where I can share that. So the key to this KVK is that the Fire War Camp has only one kingdom. And that kingdom is insane. Their field is absolutely monstrous, but they have only one kingdom. Now, that one kingdom has more power than any other one kingdom on the map, but they had the weakest other war camp as their ally. No offense intended them. That's how it works in this. Water camp is typically where the weakest camp is. And we allied with Earth. We were in the bottom right. Every other war camp had two kingdoms in it. Okay. And that is a big deal. The power difference is real. So our strategy going into this is very obvious. I mean, it's defined by the fact that we have an extra kingdom, which means if each kingdom contributes their share of troops, we should just have more troops to go around. So eventually we drain the players from 34, because although any one player has more troops, in total, we just have more of them. So they have to be trading positive everywhere they go by enough to offset the fact that they just have less to begin with. And they have to be trading so much more positive because of their field momentum and their flag momentum because of their field presence, that we have to be at a disadvantage from a territory standpoint. And in the first day of Kingsland, they did burn some of our stuff, but we mostly held. And that was when I was like, okay, I think we could be okay here. And then going into sort of day two, we were able to push a lot and be in a really good spot. So people asked sort of all throughout if I had any beef with 34, which I don't, by the way, other than the fact that they were trying, specific individuals, 20 or 30 of them were trying to mock me from there. I don't really know them. I didn't know them at all. In fact, Chadsky came in my live stream and he was like, no, Chisgule, they are a very impressive kingdom. We need to be very concerned about this kingdom. And their field presence was insane. So I absolutely can see why that is the case. And I think that they are probably one of the highest potential kingdoms in the game right now, assuming they stick together after taking a loss, and not all kingdoms do when they're used to winning. Because once they get their other mechanics, like filling rallies, filling garrisons, understanding meta rallies, understanding meta garrisons, knowing what to swarm, when to swarm, once they get that stuff right, they're going to be really scary. And their field presence is already really scary. My restart normally trades super well, even against tough kingdoms, but this is the worst I've traded in as long as I can remember on my restart account into any kingdom. So they are just really, really, really good in the field. So I genuinely think they are one of the highest potential kingdoms in the game right now. Obviously, they're not at the tier of like the ones that are already there. But like in terms of the kingdoms that are already not a top kingdom, their potential is just really, really high. Very young kingdom. Once they learn, again, some of these like core mechanics, I mean, look, their players made fun of me, so they set themselves up for this. But like, if they spent more time watching my videos instead of mocking me, they might have learned a thing or two. Just saying. I mean, it needs to be said. And it's funny because I dropped into LKC to make a joke about my restart account, which basically became a 130 million power farm, sort of, but not really. So the way I use my two accounts in this KVK is that I fought on my main account when I was actually worried about if we were in trouble or not. And obviously it's got like more punch and more troops and. It's just got so much more it can do. And it had max tech, obviously. So I would actively fight on the main account when I could. And it felt like we were in trouble. And then as soon as it felt like, now we're chilling, bro, I would switch over to the restart. So the restart only has like, I want to say 20, almost 23 million sevs. If I play more, I can probably push this to 30 before the end of this KVK. And this is the account where I should be playing now. Now that I feel like we're probably in a really good spot, I should play this one more. But I couldn't get nearly as many deads as I wanted on this account. And it's funny because anytime I ported this thing next to a garrison, it's almost like this thing was like the ultimate scarecrow. Like I would put this account there and nobody would want to hit the flag anymore. And they know I'm just going to zero the account on whatever flag it's sitting on, right? Like I don't care. Just zero it. It needs to lose power. We did not have a fight last KVK because of the way that matchmaking worked out. One camp was completely imbalanced. So like someone was going to be on the losing end of allies in that KVK. So yeah, we didn't have fighting. So this thing's really fat. So I would port next to stuff, and I made this comment in LKC. I was like, yeah, you know, my account's the ultimate scarecrow. And someone said something like, you know, shut up, Baldy. And my response was, hey, I may not have hair, but at least I have territory. And oh man, people just lost their mind. I mean, it's a dad joke, but they appreciate it that I'm dropping dad jokes. And it's funny, like, even in the midst of losing, they still want to attack my character and my looks rather than like actually think about like, hey, what are things we can do to, you know, like fill a rally, fill a garrison, find the right garrison combo. So anyways, a couple things if you weren't sure as a viewer here is I predicted Eleanor would be terrible in Kingsland Flags. Eleanor is absolutely god-awful in Kingsland Flags. Eleanor absolutely can work in a pass. You put her into a flag that can get swarmed and expect to lose that flag. The things that we could do with the SW top end that came to 2293 is insane. It is actually insane. We basically, I don't know the exact number, but we basically like doubled the potential of 2293, that's my kingdom's, ability to rally and garrison. Just straight up, we doubled it. And oh, look, we're just swarming a flag now. GG. Oh, it's building. This thing's definitely going to get cooked. Time's going up, right? And like, yeah, time's up to 4 minutes, up to 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. I think this flag is cooked, bro. This flag is cooked. There it is. Yeah, no, there's just like some game mechanic stuff that I'm not going to explain because I don't know it to them to explain it. That like we definitely knew that they definitely did not. That made a difference here. But yeah, Eleanor Garrison's one of those things where like if you're in Kingsland, for those of you wondering, you should be using Gorg O'Hara. That's really good. You might be able to do better with something else, but like that'll work. You can put anything in it. It is really prickly to swarm. It has AoE in case they're being silly with what tags they're in when they rally. Like, yeah. And so the craziness of putting SW into 2293, which was on its own a perfectly functioning kingdom, and like you just double the number of rally leads, you double the number of garrison captains. And especially with the quality of rally leads and garrison captains we brought, it was insane. But also some shout outs where shout outs were due, or are due. Pha put an account in our kingdom here, and he crushed, man. He was able to pull down, let's see here. On kill points, he's number 5. On death points, he's number 7. And on heal points, he's number 4. Right? But like, also just going down this kill point list, right? Like Fluffy Pony was something we brought to this kingdom. Someone we brought to this kingdom. War Daddy Chad, right? Pha joined. Let's see here. There are probably others up here. Peace is in the kills. A part of the reason you don't see my main account near the top here is, like I said, every time I felt like we were stable, I tried to put KP onto my restart account. Albanon's up here for death points. We brought some big stuff. Fluffy Pony with a different icon for some reason. What's going on here? Chadsky's up there. Buzz up there, as I mentioned earlier. Albanon's up there. East is up there. But I think the other thing I need to mention is that there's Fluffy, number 1. Jeez, man. Number 1 on healing. GG. Chadsky, Pha, Peace is number 5 on healing. Hungy, big chillin' up there. He is a native from 2293, where native is defined as anyone who didn't migrate from SW recently. Oh, man. Pony Keg. Pony Keg's at 21. Good for her, man. Yoda's on here, Jillo's. But Yoda and Jillo's were here before. Anyways, all that to say, it was a really good ad to 2293. I don't know how many folks from SW are staying long term, but I had a really good KVK experience this KVK, and there's a couple things that make that, I think, true. One is that there was lots of fighting all throughout, which again, I think this was the best way for allies to have been set up. This was definitely the most fair way, where fire had to ally with water and we ally with earth. And I think that was the most balanced you could possibly do. If fire allied with us, like if fire allied with anyone else, I'm pretty sure that that team would win. Right? So like, and there will be less fighting because of that. That is my read on how this KVK went. And it took more than one kingdom to be, more than one war camp to be able to handle fire. And that is because their field is so insane. And like, I mean this respectfully, but I feel like their power was very underleveraged compared to what it could have been. And a part of the, and it's not like, I'm not trying to be critical. It's just like, I mean, you watch what happened and it's like, yeah, that's what happened. I have this experience in SW where we fought one war camp versus 3 that I knew that this was going to be really hard for them. And the only way they could do this is if 24/7 around the clock, they had no downtime and every account was actively in the field. That's the only way. And I mean, you could definitely argue that trying to do this in SW when we did back in the day, one war camp versus 3 was even harder than what they had to do here. Yeah. The point I'm trying to make is it's very hard to go into a disadvantage based on the number of kingdoms. Anyways, I think I'm rambling because I'm sleep deprived. If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of. I have a few really crazy moments that will probably be dedicated videos. Like there was a player at over 200 million power that we're on the path to zeroing. I won't spoil the ending, but I mean, pretty obvious. They make it out of their lives, so spoiler alert. And then there was, my city getting rallied. Not my main account, but my restart account. So that'll be a fun one. So I've got some follow-up videos. But all in all, like I said, 2934 is a really impressive kingdom. Our allies did fantastic. There was one moment where, I mean, I haven't talked about this because if you saw the stream, you know, where basically Fire Camp was going into their downtime, but they were still active because they were kind of winning and gaining territory. And our allies balled up and came over, and the two of us together hammered on these flags that were over here. And oh my God, we just burned after burn after burn. Which also was a part of the value of the SW ad, is that you had players like me, Peace, Fa, Albanin, and Fluffy, and that just could raw swarm flags without a rally on it. And like, man, I could not believe the number of those flags we were able to take. It was shocking to me. But again, that's like a garrison commander diff where can't do that if the right commanders are at play and filling is happening, and those things were not happening. So we were able to get a lot of flags. But our allies, just a huge play bringing their field over. That was insane. I actually feel like y'all better put that in the playbook, because that was a power play. Look, go watch the stream. I'll have a card in the end screen in a minute. You should watch that moment. Like, I don't know, 3 hours into the stream. Somebody comment, then if I see it, I'll pin it for when it was. That was a huge momentum swing. And after that, I think a bunch of them went offline. They were like, F it, I'm going to bed. Which makes sense. Then we went from we're not burning anything to we are burning 10 things at a time. And it's like, okay, fire is on fire. Yeah. But, all in all, like, I keep saying this, but like every kingdom really did their part, right? I feel like every kingdom played to the best of their ability, which makes for a really fun KVK. I'm tired. I need to rest. You enjoyed the vid? Throw a like on here, subscribe, watch the stream, see the momentum shift. You'll see it and be like, oh wow, that's how it happened. Okay, yeah, got it. Also, I need to go fix my green screen. I just need to buy a new camera, I think, which I've really been delaying doing. I'm never going to unsee this now that I see it. GG. All right. Card here. Stream. Watch it. Take care, everybody. See you in the next one.